Okay, 2 stories, 3 points. Here we go. All right. There's an Eskimo. He's got a black dog and a white dog. He takes him in the village every Saturday to have dog fights, and he takes bets on them, and he always knows which dog is going to win. And after a couple years, someone has said, how do you win every bet? How do you know which dog is going to win? It's easy. 1 week, I starve one dog, and I feed the other dog, and I switch it up each week. And we have the war. The greatest war is not in Ukraine and Russia. It's inside of ourselves between the spirit and the flesh. When the flesh is our self-centered, egotistical, lustful, greedy, materialistic self that we have to battle every day. And whatever dog you feed the most is going to win. All right? 2 natures live inside my chest. One I hate, one I love, one I hate, but the one I feed will dominate. So we got to feed the spirit and starve the flesh. You know, the flesh, the human nature is just a lie. In the animation Pinocchio, there's a place called Treasure Island. And the guy gets these boys to go to Treasure Island, and he gives them candy and food and rides, and they turn into donkeys. That's what the flesh will do, okay? It'll deceive us, and it's just turn into animals who just exist and survive. Story number 2. There's a farmer, has no relatives, no kids, no friends, just has a farm. And he dies. They get his will, and in his will, he wants to leave the farm to Satan. So they take it to the judge. How do we leave the farm to Satan? The judge says, do nothing. Let the weeds grow and the paint peel, and let the farm go downhill. When we do nothing to feed our spirit, when we go to the culture, you go downhill. How do you get out of shape? You do nothing. How do you go down and drift from God? You do nothing, okay? So we have to go against the culture and intentionally feed our spirit. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You got to have a day-by-day plan to feed your spirit and starve the flesh. It's like you're listening to the music here, the worship music feeds your spirit. Reading the Bible feeds your spirit. Going to youth group, church, Sunday school feeds your spirit. What you listen on YouTube can feed your spirit or feed your flesh. So you got to be very intentional, and you got to really plan. And one more thing here, one more verse. I was meditating on Matthew 18:30 one day. It says, he who is not for me is against me. He who does not gather scatters. And I thought, that's an interesting verse. You mean everyone is for God or against God? Everyone gathers or scatters? I go, what does that mean? And I felt the Holy Spirit say something to me that I've really based a lot of my decisions in life on. You know, people aren't bad people, but they're just a distraction. Okay, and I came up with the 3 Ds. Every song you listen to is one of these 3 Ds. Every friendship you have, every decision you should make. It's destructive. It gets you to do bad things. By the way, a little side note here, 85% of secular rap music advertises drugs, okay? Feeds your flesh, okay? And then the other one is distractions. It's not a bad thing, but distracts you from God's best. And the 3rd D is destiny, God's will for you. And so, man, I want to fight the destructive things. I want to fight distractions. I have a short lifetime left on this earth. I want to live out God's destiny and plans for his life. Okay? Oh. Feed the spirit, starve the flesh. I got 1:30 left, so I want to say my testimony in a poem. All right? I met the King of Glory, so I just have to tell you this story. I wanted to be the high school star, but I had not gotten very far. So I went to a Christian athlete camp. I thought it'd make me a champ. I went there for athletic inspiration. It turned out to be a camp for salvation. All the pro athletes seemed so tough, but all they talked about was Jesus stuff. I was turned off by this spiritual jargon because all I wanted was personal stardom. Then one beautiful California night, I finally saw the light. On June 24th, 1971, I received God's only son. I'm still a sinner and I still sin, but I know with Jesus I'm always winning. I'm just a sinner saved by his grace, but I know now I've won the one important race.